Good morning, children. Sai Ram. Hope you all are doing well. Welcome back to science class. Today we'll continue the same chapter, that is chapter number 14, water. In this chapter, we have studied about different properties of water, sources of water, and uses of water. Besides this, we have studied about states of water. All the three forms of water we have already discussed. And some special properties of water also we have discussed in the previous video. Now in today's video we'll start with the water cycle. Water cycle, as we have already studied in the previous classes, in the 4th or 5th class also we have studied about the water cycle. What is water cycle? Water cycle is the process of circulating or continuous movement of water between water bodies like ocean, rivers, ponds, lakes and land. And this cycle is known as the water cycle. As we all know that water exists in three states, that is solid, liquid and gas. So in the water cycle all three forms can be seen. In a water cycle all the three forms of water can be seen, that is solid form, vapor form and the liquid form. And the total amount of water in this universe remain constant, and it only changes its form from solid to liquid and liquid to gas. Means we can say that the total amount of water remains same, just it changes the form solid to liquid, then liquid to gas, and then again gas to solid or liquid. Means the change of the form of water changes. We can say the amount of water remains same always. And we can see the interesting fact is that the water that exists today is the same water that existed a billions years ago. That's why water is called a limited renewable resource. We can say the water that dinosaurs used to drink, we are drinking the same water because that water is on the earth only. Okay, that water is on the earth only, but it has just changed the form. It has just changed the forms only. So in the process of water cycle, in the complete process of water cycle, three steps are there. First one is the evaporation, then condensation and the precipitation. As we have earlier studied about the evaporation, condensation. What is evaporation? Evaporation is the process by which a liquid changes into its gaseous form. Liquids change to gaseous form, means water on the earth changes to gas. Changes to gas, or we can say vapor form. That process is known as the evaporation process. That process is known as evaporation process. When liquid changes to gas on heating, that is known as the evaporation process. Okay. After this, condensation, the process by which a gas changes to liquid form. Gas changes to liquid form means the gas that is going up, means vapors, that changes to liquid. Vapors changes to liquid. That process is known as condensation. That process is known as condensation. And the last process is precipitation. Precipitation is the process by which water vapors present in the atmosphere condenses and fall down as rain, snow or hail, is known as precipitation. So all these three processes are involved in the process of water cycle. Now here you can see the water cycle. As you can see here, the water present on the earth, oceans, soil, trees, all these evaporate and form vapors, and these vapors, as air rises up, it cools, so water evaporates and condenses to form cloud. So all the vapors, water vapors collect to form clouds. When these clouds become heavy, it rains, and that rain comes down in the form of water, and then water again evaporates to form vapors again form clouds again form water. So this cycle keeps on going. So this is what known as the water cycle. Now let's come to the next topic, that is the drought. Drought, as we have studied, rain are the main source of water. They play a crucial role in replenishment of the water on the earth. During the summer, the temperature is high. Thus, there is a great loss of water from the surface of earth due to excess evaporation and transpiration. But mostly this water loss is made up with the water coming from this rain. But what happens? Sometimes it does not rain for so many days. If it will not rain for so many days, what will happen? What will happen? Yes, if it will not rain for so many days, the land will become dry. It will become dry, and if it will not rain for so many months, so the earth will look like this, or we can say the land will look like this with a big cracks. So all this, so this process or this condition is known as drought, when the water from the soil is just evaporated and no more water is left on the surface. That process is known as drought. And if the process of drought continues for the long period of time, it causes a condition that is known as famine, and in this case there's a lack of food or water for, and we can say that they don't get and due to this a condition comes where they suffer from starvation and dehydration, because starvation there is no food, and dehydration there is no water. So that is process is known, that is known as famine. That condition is known as famine. Other is when there is an excess of rain, the condition where excess of rain is there, and that is known as flood. Means rainfall brings about life, but excess rainfall lead to an increase in water level in water bodies like river and pond. This extra water spread all over the area, and we can say it affects the human day-to-day life, our day-to-day life. That is known as, this condition is known as the flood. Now let's come talk about the water pollution. Water pollution means water pollution occurs when water body is adversely affected by addition of large amount of unwanted materials into it. As we know, when we say pollution means unwanted things that we don't want. So water pollution means adding undesirable things in water that makes it unhealthy or unfit for drinking. So that is known as the water pollution. So causes of water pollution, we can say use of large amount of herbicides and pesticide fertilizers in the field, because when it rains, then all the field water goes to rivers, and that pollutes the water. Water and sewage generated by factories can get into the water supply. The factories that are nearby the river, they produce unwanted, we can say harmful chemicals that are drained into the water bodies, and they are affecting the water bodies. And we can say more this water pollution, causes of water pollution, we can say sewage generated by the house, littering on the land. This is one of the most common cause of water pollution. Now, how can we conserve water? We all know conservation of water. It is very easy to say how to conserve water, but in practical we are not doing so. So let's see what are the water conservation methods that we should follow. We should follow these methods to conserve water. First is Use only as much as water required. We should use as much as water required, not extra amount of water. While brushing your teeth, do not leave the tap running. Open it only when required. Do not leave the tap running while washing dishes and clothes. Water used to wash vegetables and fruits can be reused for water plants. Yes, for watering plants, yes, it can be used. So you should reuse water whenever possible. Now, the next last topic of this chapter is rainwater harvesting. What is rainwater harvesting? Rainwater harvesting, saving the rainwater. How it is done? It is done on the rooftop. It is also known as rooftop rainwater harvesting. In this method, rainwater is collected on the roof of the houses. It is rainwater is collected on the roof of the houses. If this is a house, on the top, rainwater is collected and sent through the pipes to in a big pit or in big tanks. This water is collected and later purified and can be used for other purposes. We can use this water for other purposes also, for our day-to-day purposes, like for gardening, for washing clothes, for gardening also we can use this, for washing the floors, means many more activities we can do by this water. So rainwater is collected in rainwater is collected in big tanks for later use. This process is known as rooftop rainwater harvesting. So here you can see in this diagram, so this is the diagram of rainwater harvesting. Here you can see rainwater is collected here. When rain comes, water is collected on the top, and this water is going down in the big tanks, purifying, and the storage tanks are also there. You should also store rainwater or let it seep down into the ground, so that it will also recharge the groundwater level. So this is all about the water. Hope you all understood the chapter and enjoy the chapter. This is all for today. Sai Ram.